Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of In the Studio. Today I have a little tip for you. This came up recently when I was working on this remix here. Maybe you can guess which remix it is. But let's get into it, shall we? So, I have everything muted except for the lead. I don't want to give away the full track just yet, or at least what I have so far. So we're going to focus on the lead here. Let's have a listen. Okay. So I wanted this sound to be big and spacey and have lots of reverb on it. But when I was setting up the reverb, I found that it was masking the lead a little bit too much and it was just a little too intense. Um, so what I could have done is, obviously just gave it less reverb, but I wanted that big reverb sound. I could have also just automated the send amount to maybe come up at like a ramp here and come up towards the end of the phrase. But again, I still wanted that big reverb sound present when the lead was doing its thing. I just needed to control it a little bit more. So this is what I did to accomplish that. I just grabbed the handy peak controller, which is a incredibly useful tool, and there's lots of things that you can do with this little guy. But yeah, I just grabbed that, put it on the lead on the parallel reverb or the reverb send, which the lead is going to here. I threw on this little balance plugin at the end of the chain and just simply linked this to the peak controller. But when you do that, in my particular case, I chose the inverted mapping formula because I want to duck the reverb when the lead is peaking rather than increase it. So if you want to use it in this way, make sure to choose the inverted mapping. So now you can see that in action. Super simple. When that lead is doing its thing, the reverb's ducking out of the way. And then as soon as the lead is finished, the reverb kind of answers and comes in. But the reverb's still present during the riff itself. And you can hear that without. Yeah, the reverb is just a little bit too much. Made it sound too wishy-washy. And then with. Just lets that lead come through, especially in the context of the mix when all the other elements are playing. It was a much needed fix here. So don't be afraid to sidechain reverbs to something other than the kick drum. In this case, I sidechained it against itself to get out of the way and then kind of answer and swell in. But this works great on sounds with gaps in between, like a vocal with the vocal phrases with gaps in between, or a little synth phrase with little gaps. And this is a nice way to kind of fill that space in between phrases. I chose to do it this way this time, but you could also do it with a traditional compressor as well. But yeah, I thought that maybe you might want to see this little tip, and hopefully it was useful, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.